Governor Tony Evers has signed the 2025-27 biennial budget into effect. After last-minute negotiations between Governor Evers and Republican lawmakers, the 2025-27 biennial budget bill was passed out of the state Senate yesterday on a bipartisan vote. The $111 billion budget must now be signed by Governor Evers, a step that usually takes just a few days. However, many state lawmakers asked for a speedier process, hopeful that the budget would be signed into law before President Trump signs the federal tax and spending cuts package. Governor Evers responded to these requests and signed the budget into effect in the early hours of this morning. Now, Governor Evers released a statement saying, in part, "Over the past 3 biennial budgets, I have made it a priority to listen to the will of the people, to do the right thing for Wisconsin, and to create prosperity that will define our state for generations. We've worked hard to be prudent with taxpayer dollars and save where we can while still investing in the needs that had long been neglected, cutting taxes for working families and staying within our state's means." And some highlights from the budget include the state child care industry, Wisconsin kids in K-12 schools, the future of Wisconsin Technical College, lower energy bills, cutting taxes for working families and retirees, expanding access to quality affordable health care, supporting veterans and their families, building 21st century infrastructure, supporting farmers and agriculture, ensuring access to safe and clean drinking water, and protecting natural resources. And while the Green Bay Correctional Institution was not highlighted in the original budget deal, the budget did end up including $15 million to develop preliminary plans and specifications for the realignment of the Department of Corrections and ultimate closure of GBCI. Yesterday, Republicans also spoke about including the goal of closing GBCI in the next state budget. And local lawmakers have been sharing their thoughts on the new budget. Democratic State Senator Jamie Wall of Green Bay, who voted yes on the budget, saying in a statement, quote, "This is not the budget that I would have written, but it beat the only 2 possible alternatives, a budget catering to the most extreme right-wing legislators or no budget at all." Republican State Senator Rachel Cabrera-Cuevara of Fox Crossing, who also voted yes, saying in part, quote, "No budget is perfect, but the one I voted for today will ensure we live within our means while providing necessary investments in special education, health care, and our community." And also new for the state capitol, the Wisconsin Supreme Court has struck down the state's 1849 abortion ban. It comes after years of protests and debates over how Wisconsin will handle abortion following the Supreme Court's decision to repeal Roe v. Wade in 2022. Your state capitol reporter Harm Benheisen has more about the court's decision.
In a 4-3 ruling, the court's liberal majority said that Wisconsin's 176-year-old abortion ban is invalid. This decision ends a 3-year fight over abortion access in Wisconsin. The law in question would have banned abortions in most cases. It was canceled out by the landmark 1973 U.S. Supreme Court ruling in Roe v. Wade. But when Roe was overturned in 2022, conservatives claimed it had sprung back into effect. During the nearly 50 years that Roe v. Wade was in place, Wisconsin lawmakers passed several abortion restrictions. Justices said Wednesday that the legislature had in effect repealed the 1849 law when they passed those other restrictions. The ruling means women in Wisconsin will continue to have access to abortion services up to 20 weeks of gestation. Democratic Attorney General Josh Kaul first brought this lawsuit 3 years ago when Roe was overturned.
Today's ruling marks a major victory for reproductive freedom following the uncertainty and harm to women's health that have resulted from the overturning of Roe v. Wade.
Republican Sheboygan County District Attorney Joel Ermansky defended the abortion ban in court. His office said he is unavailable for interviews today. In dissenting opinions, conservative justices accused the court's liberal majority of putting their own political preferences above the law. In Madison, Harm Benheisen, NBC 26.
Thanks, Harm. And while some, like Attorney General Josh Kaul, are celebrating, others are voicing their opinions against this ruling. The chairman of the Wisconsin GOP, Brian Schimming, issued a statement which reads, "The Wisconsin Supreme Court's role is to follow the Constitution, not to make law. The issue should be resolved in the legislature and by voters, not by far-left justices parading as legislators." The Catholic Diocese of Green Bay also issued a statement from Bishop Rickens, who said, "Abortion is not the answer to a difficult or challenging pregnancy. As a state, we can do better." Wisconsin took center stage in national politics in 2024 and to a lesser extent in 2025. Taxpayers are still feeling the ripple effects. Your Green Bay neighborhood reporter Carl Winter joins us from City Hall to explain why.
1 year ago, Green Bay Mayor Eric Genrich called on presidential campaigns to pay back the money they owe the city for public safety costs. Since then, the earth has revolved around the sun once, and tens of thousands of dollars has yet to be paid.
The Trump campaign racked up more than $53,000 in costs between 2 campaign visits to Titletown last year and has not paid either invoice. Nearly $2,000 total is owed for canine services for 4 different visits, including those by J.D. Vance and Kamala Harris. Nearly $90,000 of public safety costs for 2024-2025 visits have been paid, including for Harris' trip to the Resch last October and Elon Musk's stop downtown in March. There are also some unpaid invoices dating all the way back to 2016, including more than $13,000 owed by the Hillary Clinton campaign and more than $9,000 by Trump. The village of Ashwaubenon also has one outstanding invoice. The Harris campaign owes Ashwaubenon a little more than $3,400 for this visit in October.
I also reached out to the Brown County Sheriff's Office to see if any campaigns owe that office money, but did not hear back by deadline. In Green Bay, Carl Winter, NBC 26.